Hey guys, welcome back. Once again, I'm Amay, your tutor for NAIL IB's Economics SL and HL for First Assessment 2022. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about the new syllabus that IB has in store for the new students and exactly how to maneuver through that. Exactly what are the new concepts that will be, integrated and used in this new syllabus. First off, let's start off with what exactly the new syllabus and curriculum entails. Now, the new IBDP economics, both HL and SL, relies on the concepts, content, and context framework. Over here, concepts are the 9 core concepts that IB has introduced that we will be seeing in the next slides. The content is your answers, your reasoning, your rationalizations, your theories, and essentially the answers which you write. And the context is the real life examples that you give. IB is now placing a lot of importance on you providing real life examples, real world examples to use in your answers and to use in explaining why you have the opinion which you have. All right. And the next part of the entire new dynamic which is shaping IB is research. A lot of emphasis is now being put on research as well. You're not just supposed to read what's in the textbook. You're supposed to do a little bit of research for yourself, understand what is being taught, where did this theory originate from, and essentially what are its defining characteristics. Essentially dig a little deeper than what the textbook is giving you, right? And research in the second sense would be you providing research articles, essentially writing your internal assessments. We will talk about this in the later slides, but research is also an integral component of the IB economics, right? And as I've already mentioned, IB does not want you to just skim through the textbook and put it down in the exam paper. They want you to understand the concepts and make your own opinions. They value what students have to say. So essentially, if you have a certain inclination towards an economic policy, that's amazing, all right? But IB expects you to write down that opinion with justification. And you will use that justification by integrating concepts, content, and context. As I've already mentioned, concepts, the 9 key frameworks, context is the real life examples, and content is your own answers. So that is essentially how IB wants you to make your own answers and not give the same old boring answers that everyone wants you to write. They won't fetch you marks, and they sure won't impress the examination invigilators, right? And finally, we come to the newest aspect of IB economics, which is a focus on conceptual learning. Now, the conceptual learning framework has replaced the old syllabus. So essentially now every chapter which we go through in this course will have linkages, all right? They'll be linked to the core concepts, right? So chapter 1 will be linked to perhaps one concept, and chapter 11 will be linked to another, all right? And it's not just necessary that they be linked to one. They'll probably be linked to maybe 1, 2, or maybe even 3, okay? So that's essentially what IB economics has become in a nutshell. Moving on, the new syllabus. As I've already stated before, IB is now giving a lot of emphasis on the 9 new concepts. These concepts are scarcity, choice, efficiency, equity, economic well-being, sustainability, change, interdependence, and intervention. Now, personally speaking, none of this is new. It was all there before. What has changed is the emphasis. You will now have to center your answers and understanding around these 9 key concepts, which essentially encompass what IB economics students are expected to learn, all right? So essentially not new, but you will have to integrate them and understand them in great depth, all right? Now, moving on, these new core concepts tie in with a more advanced syllabus. All right. Now, the syllabus has already undergone a change, as I've repeatedly stated before. There was something called theory of firm before that has been taken out, right? So it's just to ensure that students have a more streamlined and doable, all right, syllabus. They don't want to overburden you with a lot of chapters and whatnot, all right? And when I was doing economics, all right, in high school, we had 4 sections, all right, microeconomics, macroeconomics, international economics, and developmental economics. What has happened now is that there are only 3 sections now, right? Micro, macro, and international and developmental economics has been merged into global economics. All right, so there are now only 3 sections, right? So that's good for all of us because it leaves us a lot more time to practice the concepts. Okay, and what I've stated before, and I will repeat it again: concepts, content, and context. Right? Your context are the examples that you provide, the content are your answers, and the concepts, all right, from scarcity to interdependence are how you frame your answers around each concept, right? So that, like, trinity is essentially what you need to develop and what this course will help you achieve. And another very interesting thing that has been added by the IB is behavioral economics. This is a new field which has come in. It's a 21st century edition, and essentially IB has thought that students need exposure to this. It's a very interesting topic and we'll have a lot of fun covering it. It has elements of psychology and understanding why do people make the decisions that they do, not just from a mathematical or purely economic point of view, but from a psychological point of view as well. All right. And finally, real life examples. All your answers, I repeat, all need to have real life examples. In the specimen papers that we here at NAIL IB have analyzed, every question now asks for a real life example, all right? How you can identify the scenarios that are taking place in the new world, essentially applying the theory to the practical aspects in real life. So what you want to be able to do is hold the real life examples and your own answers, combine them and frame them around the concepts. That's essentially the new syllabus. You're all up to speed. And guys, don't worry. In the next video, we'll be getting into how the assessment has changed, what is now required from students from the IB. So until then, and until you log in again, good night, goodbye, and stay safe.